Hello, I'm Tobal, and I'm going to be continuing to play Starsector with you today. Last time we were playing Starsector, we wound up getting a little bit sidetracked by an ambush or an interception by a pirate fleet, and we did lose one of our ships, but we were able to defeat the pirates and recover both our ship and also one of the pirate support destroyers. After looking at some of the costs, I think that it's not going to be feasible really to keep the destroyer, only because I suppose at any point you can keep the destroyer with all of its damage here. So structural damage means the armor rating is lower. It does look like it has a faulty power grid, so the flux capacity is lower and the top speed is lower because of all these issues. If we just leave it alone and we don't try to do a restore on this ship, because the restore code is going to cost 20,000 credits, I think that it would be an okay addition just to have until we get something better. But I don't really want to put the money into it to restore it to, its full quality, just because I don't think the restore cost is worth it. So if you have a lot of experience with that, any comments on quality of the Buffalo? I'm thinking the Buffalo is a kind of a converted freighter, if I remember seeing it before. So I don't think it's all that special. Yeah, so here's a Buffalo Mark II destroyer. I mean, this just says Meteor. It's a Mark II destroyer hull. So it's interesting. Maybe it's just converted to whatever it wants to be. Either way, we'll keep it along just because I think having it in the back line with a ton of missile launchers is going to be pretty useful. So we are back. Take a look where we are. We are in Quaddle and I think Azlatan. And this did have some, it looked like some equipment to purchase. So I think we'll go ahead and put, I really can't even afford to, or there's not even a whole lot here for sale. We'll put some point defense on the ship. Point defense always good for machine gun. There's always good for intercepting missiles as well as intercepting enemy fighters that get too close. And really though, I don't know. I think something longer range. We don't want this ship to have to get all that close. 1200, 2500. But again, everything has limited ammo, so it's kind of this trade-off. Yeah, that is an interesting one because we don't really want this ship to get in range, in close range, because we're going to have a weakened hull and armor. But we don't really have any options. I mean, we could just put these LRM. I mean, this is like a 10,000 range torpedo here, or ranged. Oh, hang on. The LRM launcher, though. The LRM launcher does not have a limit on ammo. The rocket launcher. I think what would be a really nice addition to this ship, if we can find it, is there's a mod that basically increases the amount of ammunition your ranged your missiles get. So, oh, and what I got confused about is I clicked on the medium missile hardpoint this time instead of the small. So the medium has an interesting one in the form of the pylon and the harpoon. But back to the smalls, we really are kind of limited to missiles and torpedoes that have a very short amount, not short, yeah, a short amount of weapons, weaponry or ammo. Why don't we try it? This isn't going to be super expensive just to put it on the ship. We will give it the Swarmer SRM launcher. Right, so in theory, this would at least for sure keep a lot of enemy craft away from us. So it could kind of protect our back line eventually if we ever have something to protect. And on the main gun, let's go ahead and reduce some of the points here because we can't afford to put it on yet. Oh, I'm torn. I think I like the Harpoon MRM because the The Pylum is basically just such a long range. It's such a slow missile, while the uh, Harpoon has a little bit better speed to it. Now the Pylum has no limit on how much you can fire. However, the Harpoons come in pods of 4, I believe. It says damage 750 times 4, so I'm believing that um, this is going to be very strong as kind of a finisher. So we've got three point defense type of mounts or weapons. We have a lot of Swarmer launchers. I think until we find a better missile, we'll keep it at Swarmer for the moment, just because that limited ammo really restricts the ship, because once the ammo's gone, this ship really doesn't do much, right? It stays in the back line and maybe uses its long-range point defense laser. So, and really, the weapon groups, the flux cost is not high either, so we don't have to invest as much in the flux dissipation. I will add auxiliary thrusters in order to compensate for the fact that its top speed is just going to be rotten. And I think we'll go with the standard, something like blast or is in reinforced bulkheads or reinforced bulkheads. It's 20% hull integrity, 40%. Let's go ahead and grab reinforced bulkheads first. We'll put the rest in capacitors. So I think this is an okay ship. This isn't anything to write home about, but it will be okay. The second thing to figure out is whether we want to restore the Wolf to its former quasi-glory. The damage it took was faulty power grid, so it reduces the flux capacity and the dissipation rate. What might be nice, though, is to put Magali on this ship, because Magali has a bonus to power grid manipulation, and if we go ahead and add in the flux related mods, we might cancel out the faulty power grid. So I think we'll leave the ship as is. Let's see, we have the Annihilator rocket launcher, which is 50. Okay, so I think we were doing that swarm idea, yeah, with most of our ships here. Okay, and then I will go ahead and just auto fit the combat freighter, although I don't like to bring the combat freighter into combat. I'm going to organize this so we're just like that. And Aaron Peck, I believe, is the one who kind of ejected from the Pride. So, if I could spell right, Triarii. And freighter will just call Mule, and we're good to go. So we'll repair our ships, use up some supplies here, and purchase some more supplies from the black market. Get some more crew members here. What I'd like to do is swing over to, let's see, we're going to swing over to Corvus. What I like to do with Corvus is actually make that my kind of my unofficial starting base, because it tends to have quite a lot of items. It tends to have good hegemony ships for sale. Should pay attention. I just noticed there was a this is actually from around where we fought at. I think we actually had our little encounter over here. So I'm going to go to Corvus and open a storage I don't know, storage locker, storage hangar. Bounty hunter. Again, all this is we're still working on just trying to get out of the system in order to find some nice bounties to go for. So just a mud skipper and a combat freighter, not too crazy about those really. If we do keep having trouble with this route, what I might wind up doing is looking for some of those supporting classes or supporting ships in order to increase our range, and then we could try just doing some exploration missions. It's a bit slower because you're tending to just fly around between hyperspace storms, really is the only excitement. There are things you can find. You can find dormant probes, you can find ships that are just floating around. I did get lucky on my first playthrough, and I found my light cruiser in very pristine condition. And so that became my flagship for a bit when I was on one of my earliest scouting missions. So let's sit over here, open up a storage thing. It's 5,000 credits. I just like to keep a stockpile of weapons here, and eventually we'll transfer that to a colony if we get to that point. Alright, so anything fun, exciting here? Let's look at lasers. Do we have any more? Nope, still nothing here yet. Jingala. We are welcome now, so we have better relations, so we have more access to some higher tier ships, like the Hammerhead Destroyer. Would not be bad to go ahead and grab something like this to lead our new little fleet down the road. Alright, I'm also going to pick up a Dram Tinker, because I would like to extend our range just a bit. And that's all working towards the goal of doing some deeper exploration missions as we get used to this. I try to generally keep the amount of supplies and fuel pretty close. I know sometimes that'll be a little bit different depending on what the makeup is of your fleet. A couple other things I found in this game is there are some supporting ships that do particularly useful things. So one is a tug. A tug, I believe, a tug increases your burn rate for your fleet, both in hyperspace and in real space. But the tug uses, for a tiny little ship, the tug is a very small ship, it does use quite a bit of extra fuel. I think it's 5 fuel per month. So it winds up using way more fuel than you'd expect. We are actually already using quite a bit of fuel as we are right now too. The other ship that's really useful, and I'll probably get that at some point soonish, is the Scavenger. Although, I could have sworn, I don't think I have the drone ship. There's a drone ship that you can start with. And I accidentally hit that. I think that starts with I think it's called a salvage gantry. It's just something that lets you get extra salvage from any time you salvage. It could be after a battle, it could be you've discovered something. So it's a little useful. I don't know if we need to do the big salvager or if we can just have anything with the salvage gantry there. While we're flying here, it looks like we've got quite a few levels after all that chaos we've had. I will go ahead and max out leadership, put 2 levels into fleet logistics in order to get the 25% fuel, or sorry, 25% supply use reduction. Next level will be 25% larger fleets and the maximum combat readiness, which is always good to have. And that sound was a payday, so we just got paid by the hegemony, our good lords and masters that we are currently okay with. I'm sure at some point we'll say our goodbyes and go our separate ways and hopefully open a new colony somewhere. I think that's my overall goal for this Let's Play is, especially with games that don't really have an ending per se. You kind of have to find your own end game. So for me, I think it'd be interesting just to get that experience of putting in a colony and seeing how it does. Right now we're looking for a binary star system. Hello, are you a floating ship? I think you are. I'm taking the sustained burn off sometimes just for that tight turn rather. Awesome, a light carrier. Let's see how damaged it is. It is got 3 pips of damage. Recovering it would. I think that indicates that 185. I think that indicates that we would be understaffed if we were to recover this ship. Light carriers are nice. I think I'd rather have a light carrier that doesn't have any damage pips on it. So we'll go ahead and just say not now. Begin the salvage and pick up some extra supplies. What this is a diagram, I believe, of... I think you can learn these. Let's hit continue, go back to the menu, right click. Okay, maybe not. This might be something that you deploy on either in your colony or on your carrier. Or we may already know this as part of it. I'm not sure how we apply the LPCs. So we'll have to do more digging into that. Okay, so we are looking... I kind of forget that the binary systems, the way they work, it's just basically two close stars. So I believe these will count as the binary system. We're looking for this pirate friend here. Rage Hendrix. Nothing really, doesn't look like anything too scary. Hopefully we can take care of him real quick. It's that light freighter, I think, that we just left, or the light carrier. Perfect. So he's around a what? He is around a gas giant. This is a gas giant here. This is a gas giant. So no hints about which one he's at. We'll just go ahead and pop right out at the gas giant. Hopefully he's not right there, but it shouldn't matter too much. Hit an active ping, and there's our boy right there. So we'll go into pursuit mode, hunt him down. It's the space law, my friend. You're running from our fleet. How could you? He just went to emergency burn, so I'm going to go ahead and interdict. I don't know if we got him in time. I'm going to switch over to that. I don't think we did actually get that. But he's not really going anywhere. Alright, so we're going to move into engage. I'm curious if being right over the planet causes anything. It's a lot of ships to deploy. Let's just go ahead and make sure we're secure in our knowledge of a victory here. We'll deploy all of our combat ships. Deploying ships does cost supplies as well, so it's one of those things that if you can limit the amount, it may, be beneficial in the long run. We'll just go crazy aggressive right now and have everyone target into the ships coming up. I do enjoy ships with no shields. Here's our missiles here. I think those are being launched from our freighter way back in the distance, or not the freighter, but the destroyer. Down, down. I think our other ship is so far back that we can't even see it anymore. One more that snuck by. Huh. This may not even have shields on it. That's awesome. Didn't even notice that. Let's hope we don't lose all that crew. I think we might eventually... Now we could, if we find something better, we could choose to scuttle this ship. We will get some supplies from it, all the crew, and we might be able to transfer them over to something different. So we did get that bounty completed. That's 40,000 credits on top of a payday that we recently had. Who else is in the area? This is completed. He seems okay. The strike destroyer I'm not really sure about, but it could be one of those things where we are able to overwhelm it. Super Giant looks like that's the system he'll be in. What is she in? Okay, dwarf primary. So I think this will just be Uranus lively, and it might be an option where we are able to take out his escorts real quick, because he should be in a slower ship and his escorts should come out aggressively. And if we're able to do that, then I think we can take him out pretty quick after his escorts are down. And dodging a couple storms because they hurt. We'll come in far away at the kind of the outer system jump point here. Although somebody's real close nearby. I'm going to go ahead and land and get ready to burn. I think I've got confidence that we're able to speed out of most people. This is a dormant fleet. Now remember that we definitely almost got nuked by a remnant fleet in the past, so that was pretty rough. Wow, this is a huge, huge star. This is a supergiant. And you can see the corona all the way out here. That is really, really strong. I think this is our guy, so how are we looking here at 70% across the board? We may even bring our freaking combat freighter in here because it does have a chain gun. That's not a horrible thing. It can take down shields. I'd hate to lose it, but it is what it is. So we will go bravely against our enemy here. Feeling good. I think we're just going to have to make better use of the command system on this fight. So I'm going to be microing a little bit more than I normally do. We'll save the combat freighter for now, and if we get really desperate, we can call it in as a reinforcement. So let's set everybody to follow me for the moment. Now the other interesting thing is when you make changes, when you give orders, it uses command points. When you first give an order, you then can subsequently give more orders for free for the next couple seconds. So I'm going to be came out and paused there and I wasn't quite ready for it. I'm going to come in, hit hard as I can, and what I'm going to wind up doing is chasing this guy, trying to set him up for my allies, and then I'm going to pull back and vent. Ouch, 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 ouch. Good. He had a torpedo, I think. Oh, we've put the ship in a bad spot. This is fine. Get back in the fray here. We should have this guy down here in just a second. He's trying to desperately pull back. Okay, great. Venting. And we're going to hit tab real quick to take a look at what's going on. So the strike destroyer is still back there. All of our ships are still assaulting this wolf. I'm actually going to pull one of our ships off to escort, make sure that our buffalo has a constant escort. And we do need to take care of this guy here because he's kind of coming in the... Whoa, gosh, that hurt. Hey, if it's effective, you know, it's not wrong. So 2 of their escorts are down. I'm going to go help out here. I think the our other wolves are chasing away the other guys down there. And it looks like this raider, this kite, is also set to escort that strike carrier, because he's kind of acting in that escort manner. Alright, we'll come down here. I think when we destroy this wolf, we will kind of regroup a little bit. He's getting towards the edge of the map. I'm going to cut him off high. Our ally is coming in low. There's only so much of the map I think you can use unless you're retreating. Oh, it's a bit awkward. I thought that... Ooh. Trying to keep an eye up there. We definitely do not want our support ship to get in the way. So I think what we'll do is tell Tell our allies to back off a bit. We'll tell the buffalo to pull back. We're going to let this guy float away because I think we can do a little bit better when he comes back in and he overextends, if that's a thing. Ah. We just knocked out our own allies' engines, I believe. That was awesome. Alright, I'm trying to be really aggressive on him. We only have 16 missiles, so I'm going to try to save him for that last ship. There goes our buffalo. Turned away for 1 second. Let's finish this guy off if we can. We should be fast enough to outpace the buffalo there, the buffalo, the strike destroyer. Guys, a little help here. A little bit of help. Killing me, folks. Killing me. Alright. Fluxing out. Hate using my missiles on this guy. It's really irritating when they fly off the map and you're not able to do that as a pilot. Definitely a little bit irritating. I'm going to try to cut inside here. Okay, finally got him. Everyone's readiness is decreasing. We've been fighting for an extended time. Let's take everyone on aggressive now. Let's go ahead and call in. No, let's not do that because I don't think it has any missiles. I think it's actually only autocannons. So here's a good test to see if we can gang up on him. I had one of these ships. They're pretty strong, but they do, I mean, like most big ships, when they don't have any escorts, they suffer from getting surrounded. So I'm going to push the flux limit here. He's overloaded. I'm going to vent while he's overloaded. I'm now out of missiles completely. And let's stay hardcore on this guy here. We'll dodge around just a bit. Now, he has better CR than we do. He's actually only now just going down. We'll be able to get him. It's just going to be one of those incredibly long and drawn out fights. I'm trying to sit here with my shields down so that I don't generate extra flux from the shield, and I just hope that I stay roughly around his rear. I'm trying to watch those turrets to see when they come at me here. Yeah, we should have this guy. The only problem, and who is not fighting here? Someone is not engaging. I'm gonna go ahead and order a full assault to make sure everyone is being aggressive on him. I'm hoping that means that they are smart about things, and they do take, you know, disengage when they need to. That hurt. That hurt. Alright guys, let's get back in the fight. There we go. That's our wolf swarm tactics. So unfortunately we did lose that support destroyer, but you know, not too worried about it. We did lose some crew, unfortunately. That's awesome. You can rescue crew during after a battle. They dropped a lot of good stuff here. We still have lots of room for everything. Awesome. Alright, so that was another bounty. We got an extra bounty. I think we got a payday in the middle there because we're also up an extra couple. Looks like a full payday, like 40,000 plus 44 plus the one before. So doing good. Let's take a look and see what's out here. This is definitely too far beyond us right now with what we've got. We definitely need to start getting into the destroyer build. This is doable, I think. Again, with the same tactics, they don't even have any wolf frigates. So I think with the same tactics, we should be able to take these out. Let's Thunder World and assist him with a dwarf primary star. Alright. We'll check this red dwarf first, and then we'll scoot down that way. Actually, I should check our fuel range first. Okay, great. We have enough fuel to do that. and our ships will be repairing as we go. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think everyone's doing okay. Let's level some folks up. Ordnance expertise, I believe, does more damage because it gives more accuracy. So I think, yeah, this is going to be a good one. The end result is a 15% increase in weapon damage. So let's go ahead and max that out. We'll keep doing combat expertise for you. I think I'm actually going to have Aaron Pack stick with fighter replacement. 24 hours. I kind of like learning a lot of these fighter abilities. Let's get these on the board, and then we'll slowly upgrade them up to level 3. As soon as we can find a carrier, we'll put Aaron Pack in the carrier. He'll be our dedicated officer for that. I have a level up, so there we go. We now have the 15% maximum CR. This basically raises the bar for, you know, what we're able to get ready to 85. So that's definitely useful. You're basically starting fights higher CR than your opponents are. You're able to kind of eat some dangers in terms of like hitting lightning storms, getting damage. That way your ships don't, you know, fall too low. I still have good. The supplies are going down faster because we are actively repairing. But I think we'll be fine here. We're losing 9 a day. It's going to take us 2 more days to get there. So that's plenty of fuel, plenty of supplies. Hopefully, by the time we get there, we should be repaired up. I think after this, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put a cut in after this next fight. Head back to Corvus and try to look at expanding our fleet with some higher level destroyers from our good friends at the Hegemony. So we'll definitely look at that. Super excited to just see more of this game. I mean, I have not gotten tired of it. I love the fighting, even if it's a little, you know, small battle between a destroyer or something. It's just a fun battle. So. Fascinating. So Dram Tanker, all these are dormant. Let's sneak in here. I think I want to check what's near the sun. Weapons cache. These might activate as soon as we hit the weapons cache. This is awesome. Okay. Would like all of that, please. Thank you. I don't think. Oh no, we've only got 3 days to find this person. I didn't see that. Tunderworld in a system with a dwarf primary. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't think we're gonna be able to get to her in time. But let's go ahead and jump out where we are in place. And real quick, this is a red giant, so the other dwarf is right here. How many days is that? Speed up, speed up, speed up. We might, if she's really close to the exit, we might be able to get her in time. No, I really don't think so. It's one day there. Let's ride some of these storms to speed up. Oh, we need to turn, we need to turn, we need to turn. Okay, I normally don't like doing this, but let's go ahead and burn into the system. And I think this is the planet right over here. Red dwarf, unidentified planet. I'm gonna burn in and just go right to this planet. Oh, that's a bummer. So we're way outside the system. I think that's the Tunderwolf we need to go to. Trying to hit my speed boost here. Oh, that's gonna be such a bummer. We're just gonna come underneath the cycle here. One day, one day, one day. It's a stable location, and that's the fleet symbol right there. Oh, that's just some stuff hanging out. Let's take a quick look and see if she's still here. Okay, good. I think we just got this in like in like no time at all. Um, excellent. Let's not take the combat freighter. Let's bring everybody out. And I think I want to have... I can handle myself. I'll keep the other ships close by so I can keep an eye on everyone. And we'll just let them engage as they plan, or they please. Let's go ahead and be aggressive over here on the side. I think these are the ships that do not have shields. Get hit a little bit outside of the shield range there. Keeping an eye on my flux. And I'm gonna bump out. Vent. We did knock out their engines, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here. I've not been paying attention too much to my ships. Let's take a look. Good, the rest of their fleet is split. This is exactly how we want that. Okay, he's gonna go down real fast. That ship is done. Let's scoot around each other here. Oh. Bad juju. Ouch. Alright, so let's have the fleet take out his escorts. I'm going to try to harass them. Both the big ship and our little one over here, if I can get over there in time. I really want to take him out, but got a little lucky there. I actually... Okay, good. That was destroyed. Let's go ahead and, since they've got the angle on him, go ahead and aggressively attack the main ship here. Oh, I am hitting wrong buttons. I was spamming my right click instead of firing my missiles, so that was a bit painful. Alright, we'll go ahead and keep strafing him. I think we're going to be okay here. Eating down the damage. No one else is really injured except for me. And last guy's here. Oh, I am overloaded by flux. Little help here, folks. Little help here, guys. Oh, did it again. Let's pull him back a little bit towards our friends. Okay, and that laser beam was enough to do it. A little closer than I wanted. I didn't really pay attention to my hull damage all that much, so... And we've done the support destroyer before. A little too slow for the build that we have until we have a better core of destroyers. I don't need that. We will take some of the metal since we're just turning around and heading home. Nice, just managed to get that bounty in. Very cool. Okay, so we are feeling pretty good about our money. We do have to be careful coming back into the core worlds though, because we are at war probably with quite a few other races or factions. I think when we were coming in system, yeah, there was something floating out here. We're going to check it too. It's a supply cache just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Nice. Ooh, got some heavy armaments on here too. Heavy armaments worth 500 per item. And transplutonics. Or transplutonics. The one thing I think I've underestimated was the only time I've really tried to mess with a colony in Starsector, didn't foresee how many materials you needed, because you can to form a colony you need 1,000 crew, something like 200 supplies, and I think some credits and some heavy machinery, maybe another 200. But the harder part was maintaining it, because as soon as it gets built, well, it doesn't have anything but your initial little home. So you need to kind of supply it with food in order for it to make sure it gets the stability starts growing. I mean, it's not super critical, but higher stability means more income. It means more growth. It means more trade down the road. Um, the challenge became that I didn't have enough money stockpiled, so I spent money on food and wound up not being able to afford the starport. And the starport's a very critical item in the first thing you probably build when you build a colony. And I could be wrong. I don't know about colony build orders that much, but I built the starport, and right around that time got raided by pirates who kicked my ass across the solar system. So that was a bit rough. Okay. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and put a cut in here. We are traveling back to Corvus, and it looks pretty calm. I do thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying the series, I hope you stick along and just see how much trouble we can get into. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to leave any comments in the description below. Thank you.